Court-appointed SIT has given a clean chit to the Vantara Zoological Rescue and Rehabilitation Centre. A bench of Justices Pankaj Mithal and P.B. Varale took the SIT report on record, noting that authorities are satisfied with Vantara's compliance and regulatory measures when it comes to the acquisition of animals. The court observed that Vantara is in strict compliance with all the laws. And I'm joined by Maneka Gandhi on the broadcast, noted animal rights activist. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us on CNN News 18. How do you see these developments coming in where the Supreme Court has now given this clean chit to Vantara, given all the work it has done for animal conservation?
I'm delighted for two things. One is that they've got a clean chit. And the second is that the SIT did not take so long. Normally, when SITs take months, then there is uncertainty. And everybody suffers. I have been to Vantara, and so have all my people. It is it is beyond excellent. It's one of the best in the world. Every animal that has been taken has been recorded. There has been, their medical help, their behavioral, psychological help is beyond par. In fact, what I would recommend is that every zoo in India, because the zoos in India are among the worst in the world, especially if you go to the zoos in Jharkhand, which kill an animal almost twice a day.
Right.
And have absolutely no doctors, nothing. Most of the zoos have nothing. They just believe in taking cages, shoving animals into them, and then as soon as they die, they get replaced. I wish that the government would now make it mandatory for an entire zoo service to come up. And that zoo service could be trained by Vantara.
Right. And Ms. Gandhi, given the fact that so many serious charges were made against Vantara when it comes to the acquisition of animals and even the treatment of animals, clearly the SIT went into all of those details. Do you see that looking at something so world-class as Vantara, there were always these vested interests who were trying to tank its reputation?
No, in India, we have this habit that if we have anything good, we immediately try to bring it down to the level of the very bad. We are very, very happy with mediocrity. We are never happy when somebody shows us the way. This experiment or this institution, Vantara, is something that all our zoos and rescue centers for animals, for wild animals, should emulate instead of trying to bring down.
Right. And Ms.
I hope that after today, I'm going to say two more things.
Yeah.
One is that I hope after today, nobody will be foolish enough to put charges. But more than that, I'm going to talk about something slightly more serious. The Supreme Court created a high-powered committee about a year and a half ago, which they said will work to see that which elephants are being slowly beaten to death or kept badly across India. And then this committee will take them to Vantara. Okay? This committee is headed by a retired Supreme Court judge. And unlike the retired Supreme Court judge of SIT who came in, did his work efficiently and got out, this one holds meetings all over India in every holiday place going. It pushes it from meeting to meeting to meeting, skips meetings if there is a problem, koi mar gaya, koi wedding hai, and has helped almost no elephants in 2 years. Now, I would really, through your madhyam, I would like to request the Supreme Court to either change the people on this high-powered committee, because I gave them a list of 19 elephants that are close to death. It has been 1 year. They have not been able to take a decision. In the meantime, 4 of them have died. They have not been able to help any animals because they just keep talking and talking and passing papers. So really, I would like them to emulate this SIT.
Right. Ms. Gandhi, as you were pointing out that clearly there was someone who efficiently looked at Vantara through the SIT to come to this conclusion, given the the global benchmarks that Vantara has set when it comes to animal conservation. Then you're also pointing out these issues where animals are not taken care of despite very serious people taking charge of these positions. What kind of compliance measures, in your opinion, should the government kind of invoke, and what kind of action should the government take so that animal conservation, the way it's done done in Vantara becomes a pan-India phenomenon?
Beta, I would suggest that out of the 200 zoos that we have, you close down 150 straight away and make large zoos instead of chitter-pitter zoos like the Bokaro Zoo and the Ranchi Zoo and the Bhilwara Zoo. Okay, these are, the Nagpur Zoo is disgusting. The Sholapur Zoo just had crocodiles and the DM used to come and ride on them like a cowboy until they died. So you need to close down all the nonsense small zoos. Secondly, you need to have a whole zoo service. Every zoo in India is run by a DFO on top who has no knowledge of animals, and underneath class 4 employees, including the Delhi Zoo. So you need to have an entire service made of zoo architects, zoo trainers, zoo managers, zoo cleaners, but they should be specifically trained, and Vantara can help train them. So this is the two things. Third is issue a separate budget for zoos. You know, you have zoos with a low budget of even 1 crore. Now, you had recently in Ranchi, they got a pregnant giraffe from another zoo. It lasted 4 days. That's all. In 4 days, they managed to kill the giraffe. Now, the zoos today in India are killing 25% of the animals annually. And then they go and raid the forest and bring them back. And it's not just zoos. Your elephant rescue centers in Bangalore, in Kerala, in Tamil Nadu, how do they train elephants? By beating them almost to death in what is known as kraals. They squash them into an area like this, keep them there and just beat them until the elephant is almost dead and is psychologically finished. This is not the way to treat any animal, especially not elephants. So the High Part Committee was supposed to look at this. They have not looked at anything. In fact, it's become one big holiday committee.
Right. And Ms. Gandhi, as you're talking about Vantara, we've also seen those reports and seen how global experts are able to give their inputs to Vantara, not just rehabilitate animals, but bring in more endangered species to Vantara and allow them to thrive. That kind of ecosystem has been set up. If you look at the pan-India perspective, in your opinion, do we have the expertise, but that pipeline towards animal conservation is missing? We have zero expertise. Please elaborate on that. We have
zero experts in zoos, in wildlife training, in rescue centers, zero. In fact, let me tell you that in India with so much wildlife, there are only 5 wildlife centers, of which 2 are run by me, one in Bangalore, one in Wardha. There was one made by me in Kaziranga, which is really very ordinary, and 2 more of no value at all. So I'm just saying that we don't even have them physically, much less, the expertise. You don't even have them on the ground.
Right. And my final question, Ms. Gandhi, looking at the fact that there was such a brouhaha created over animal conservation in Vantara, which led to the Supreme Court and the SIT making its findings. Do you think punitive action should be taken against such petitioners who raise these charges, as the Supreme Court has pointed out, with almost zero evidence, trying to tarnish the image of a beacon of animal conservation that is Vantara? And given the dismal situation across the country, as you're pointing out, this is a model that the entire nation should follow and at the same time protect it as well from such vested interests.
It's not only the entire nation, I think the whole Asian continent should come and learn from here, because this is a teaching center. But on one hand, I don't even know why the Supreme Court took it seriously, because these complainants were clearly with some vested interest. But I'm happy that Supreme Court took it up, because then they have put it to rest once and for all. And I think further complainants, if they have no evidence, should, yes, as you said, be penalized, and penalized very strictly.
Right. Maneka Gandhi, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast and sharing your perspective on this big development that has come in with the Supreme Court giving its clean chit to Vantara. Let's listen in to more reactions coming in. This is coming in from Advocate Shardul Singh.
The order passed by the Supreme Court yesterday is very significant in the Vantara case. This is because on 25th August, the Supreme Court had first formed an SIT to investigate into several issues which came out of a lot of complaints, news reports, etc. The Supreme Court has noted that the SIT has coordinated with every major agency. No violations of any law have been found. So effectively, the Supreme Court has therefore shut doors on all these speculative allegations that have been going on with regard to smuggling of animals, laundering of animals, money laundering. And what has happened is now that with this decision of the Supreme Court, there is no manner of doubt that Vantara is a lawful, transparent, and a conservation focused institution.